When my father passed away 3 years ago, he left me his most precious possession, a 1969 Mustang Fastback. It wasn't just a car, it was a piece of him. Every Saturday as a kid, I'd sit by his side in the garage, passing him wrenches, listening to the hum of the engine, and learning the value of patience and love. When he was gone, that Mustang became my way of keeping him close. I rarely drove it, but I kept it spotless, tucked safely under a cover in our garage. My wife, Lauren, never understood the attachment. "It's just an old car collecting dust," she would say. I'd always smile and explain, "It's not just a car. It's my dad." She would roll her eyes, mutter something about emotional clutter, and walk away. I figured she'd eventually come to respect what it meant to me, but I was wrong. A few months ago, Lauren started talking about how tired she was of our routine life. She wanted adventure, spontaneity, and freedom. I supported her dreams. I just didn't realize she'd sacrifice something sacred to chase them. When she mentioned a trip to Paris with her friends, I told her we couldn't afford it right now. Bills were tight, and my father's Mustang was off-limits no matter what. She went silent after that conversation. I thought the topic had died there. A week later, I came home from work to an empty garage. The Mustang was gone. My heart dropped instantly. I called Lauren in panic, thinking maybe it was stolen, but she calmly said, "Relax, it's fine. I sold it. We can finally have some fun." I couldn't even form words. My throat went dry, my chest tight. She tried to justify it. "You never even drive the thing. It's just sitting there. I got a great price for it, enough for the Paris trip and maybe some savings." Her tone was proud, like she'd done me a favor. I told her she had no right, that it wasn't just property, it was my father's memory. Her response cut deep. "Your dad is gone, Mark. Maybe it's time you live a little too." I didn't shout. I didn't even cry. I just walked out of the room. That night, she packed her bags and left for Paris with her friends, posting photos online of cafes, designer stores, and the Eiffel Tower. I couldn't bring myself to comment or even text her. Every picture felt like a stab, a reminder of what she'd taken to get there. 2 weeks later, I received a call from an unknown number. The man introduced himself as Greg, the owner of the dealership where the Mustang had been sold. "Sir, I thought I should reach out. Something didn't feel right about the sale," he said. My pulse raced. Greg explained that the buyer, a woman named Lauren, claimed to be the sole owner. But during paperwork, he'd noticed the car was registered in my name. He said he tried to verify with her, but she brushed it off, saying I had gifted it to her. Greg continued, "Legally, she couldn't have sold it without your authorization. I held the sale temporarily because I wanted to confirm with you first." My knees nearly gave out. The car wasn't gone yet. I thanked him repeatedly and immediately drove to his lot. There it was, my dad's Mustang, still gleaming under the showroom lights. I walked around it like I was seeing an old friend again. Greg was kind enough to reverse the sale, though it took some paperwork and a few legal discussions. I paid him back the deposit Lauren had received using my savings, but I didn't care. That car was worth every penny. I brought it home the same day, parked it back in the garage, and stood there for hours, running my hands along the smooth paint, whispering a quiet, "Welcome home, Dad." When Lauren returned from Paris, she was full of stories and laughter, until she saw the Mustang sitting right where it had always been. Her smile vanished. "You got it back?" she asked, her voice trembling. "Yes," I replied coldly. "And by the way, Greg called me. The dealer. He said selling a car you don't own is fraud." Her face turned pale. She tried to apologize, to spin it as a misunderstanding, but I was done listening. I told her I couldn't be married to someone who would sell a dead man's memory for a vacation. She said I was overreacting, that I loved a car more than my wife. I quietly told her, "No, I just respect what love stands for, and you don't." Within a month, she moved out. I filed for divorce. It wasn't revenge, it was peace. I realized that someone who could trade a lifetime of memories for 2 weeks of pleasure would never understand loyalty or value. Now, every weekend, I sit in the garage with that Mustang, just like I did with Dad. Sometimes, I start the engine, and the familiar rumble fills the air. It reminds me that not everything precious can be replaced or sold. Some things, some people, are meant to stay. Others, like Lauren, were just passing through, teaching me what not to lose again.